last video we created an estimate for a fire road in Fenton, Michigan, and it took us about 10 minutes. So just as a refresher, we created a PDF, and here's what the estimate looks like. So here we've got these labor hours, these equipment hours, and this material, and it extends it down here. So we have 4,800 in labor, we've got 5,300 in equipment, we have no rentals, we have 7,600 in materials, for a grand total of $19,164. So the client, now they've called us and they like the estimate and they want us to do the work. So this video here is going to show how to add the job to the system and also to schedule your crew to start work. Now that our customer has approved our project, we want to go ahead and schedule the job and get it started. So the first thing we need to do is add the customer to the system. Adding the customer to the system is going to tie all their work in. In other words, there will be reports like give me the work for such and such customer, the job notes for such, and you'll be able to do that. So the very first step is to add the customer to the system. So what we do is we hit add asset, we click in here to customer, and we go proceed to next step. So now we're just going to call this the Jackman Highway Department, and Hugh Jackman. So everything, you can fill all these in, phone numbers and things like this, add to your contact database, give you the ability to interact with this customer. But basically, for demonstration purposes, we're going to fill in the minimum amount of information. We're going to hit add asset. So now if I go up to customers, you can see that the Jackson Highway Department is part of our customer database, and if I ever want to change it, I click edit, add phone numbers or whatever, and then update it, and we're done. So now what we want to do is we want to go back to the main menu and we want to hit add job to system. So we're going to call this job N001. Purchase order would go here. This is today's date, goes here. This is your customer list here. So we're going to do this for the Jackman, the one we just entered. We've got the supervisors will show up here, the track number. All this is arbitrary, but we're going to call this fire road, and we're going to say 2,500 feet of fire road. So we hit add new job. Okay, now the job has been added to the system. So as you develop this list will grow, but basically if you want to edit that, you go back here. You can add more product detail. We call this the job header. So basically that active job list will be right here. Left hand in the job section, in the left hand menu, you'll have a full list of jobs. This is basically your control center for all the work that you've got going on. So now that's basically it for entering the job. So in the next section, I want to take a look at, once that job is entered, just what your capabilities are. So we go back to main menu now, and that's all you have to do to enter a job. It sets up a container for all the work and everything that's going to go, notes and drawings and everything that's going to go in there. So, but now you know that Fenton Fire Road is set up and it's ready to start work. Okay, now we've prepared our estimate, it's been approved, we've entered the customer, we've opened up the job, and now we're ready to start work. So basically what you want to do is, let's just say that we're going to start work Monday morning. So what you want to do is you want to click into your schedule calendar right here, click that. Now this gives you a calendar, And this is basically, so what we want to do, we're going to start this Monday morning. So we click here on Monday morning, and then we click Edit Crew. Okay, this scheduling system will accommodate 16 job sites. So you can have 16 jobs going at the same time. You could do more if you want, but I mean that's 16 jobs. So basically we're going to schedule job 1 now for our fire road. So first thing you want to do is click here, and we're going to set the job. So you may have 50, 60 jobs, but we have, because it's a demo system, we have 1. So we're going to set this to our Jackman Highway Ann Arbor Fire Road. Hit update job. So now job site 1 becomes that fire road. So what we want to do now is we want to assign the people, equipment, rental, and materials into this job. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to say I need Bill Shaw. Now he shows up over here on site 1. And you can also see that he's dropped down into the used employees area. So basically what this keeps it keeps you from double scheduling like a guy or equipment or whatever to the same job, to 2 different job sites at the same time. So we're going to add Nick, and we're going to add me. So now we've got 3 guys assigned to our fire road. Okay, now in terms of equipment, we're going to need the water truck. We're going to need the compactor, and we're going to need a jackhammer. That's our equipment. We don't have any rental equipment on this job, but we're going to need the rock, and we're going to need road base. So now you have in job site 1, you have this all set up now. You've got your guys assigned, you've got your equipment assigned, and you've got your materials assigned. So, you know, in the real world, you're going to have multiple job sites going. So, like I said, you'll have this whole thing laid out so everybody in your office can see what's going on that day. Now, next we're going to take a look at the end of the day, how we post these hours into the system. Okay, now as a little bit of a summary, it's like we've set up our estimate. We go to estimates, and here's our estimate now for our fire road. Come back to the main menu. We've gone into our customers now. We've set up our customer here, the Jackman Highway Department. So we go back to the main menu, and we set up our job. So we have our job here with our job docs and everything, so we're all set up. Now what we've done is we've gone into the scheduling calendar, and we've set up the crew. So here's our job site 1, our Jackman Highway, and these are the guys assigned to the job. So now they're out there working or whatever. So rather than having to set them up a second time, if we're going to go into the next day, which is Tuesday, what we do is we click scheduling calendar, we hit copy crew, select our job site, select the day, and we hit make a copy. Now what that does is that duplicates that setup to the following day. Then you can make your minor adjustments or whatever. So now let's say these guys, Bill, John, Jim, they're out in the field and they're working. So now at the end of the day, the supervisor is going to call into the office. So what the office manager is going to do when she takes that call is she's going to go to schedule calendar, she's going to go to that day, and she's going to hit post hours. So now here's your job site 1, your fire road, and the supervisor is going to tell her, okay, Bill was there 8 hours today, John worked 8 hours, Jim had to leave a couple hours early, so he got 6 hours in. We had our water truck for 8 hours, we had our compactor for 4 hours, we had our skip loader for 4 hours, and we used 5 tons of rock. So now what we come down here, we add job notes if we have them, what went on that day, and we hit post hours. So this is an intermediary screen. It gives you more line items if somebody showed up or additional materials or whatever, and then you scroll to the bottom and you hit add labor entry. That's all there is to it. All that labor just went in against that job. So now if we go back in here, hit post hours a second time, it's going to tell us that this job has already been posted with the hours. So go to main menu now, and that's all there is to it. If I click into the job, go to active job summary sheet, I click edit, I can go to materials and I can see what's been done. If I go over here to job cost, I can see how far we are into our costs. So basically that's all there is to it. You set up your schedule, you post your hours, and that keeps track of all your labor, all your equipment, all your rental equipment, and all your materials against that job. So as a supervisor, as a manager, you know where you stand at all times.